reason that we're calling these quadrants, because our brain won't let us decide a proper terminology for it. Basically, we're a bit too thick. But quadrant, meaning four of a kind. Normally a quadrant would be, you know, 4 squares, whatever. In this case, it's 4 boomerangs, right? So we've fabricated them all. We've turned our templates into real life. This is still basically sacrificial lead. This isn't going to be our finished product. This is us practicing with code 7 and getting a feel for how all of these angles are going to work. So for instance, our first encounter was our welts coming along the shelf and up the back upstand. Because we're running at an angle, as soon as you do an upstand, you end up here. Our initial over has now become the normal over depth of 30 mil, plus this extra flange to allow for this angle. Combating this would be to make it more square. If we had our welts running down here instead of down here, it would go square up here, but then it would put an outrageous welt on the drip. We've compromised and we've gone for a little one on the bottom and a little one on the top, which hasn't worked out too badly. Some of the complications are getting it all in to make it fit the exact holes. I've made a mock-up out of OSB to give me a pretty good indication on what it's going to feel like on site. So this last piece of our 3-section quadrant is going to join a replica like this, and this will be welded together, so this bay and this bay will become one bay. It's just a way of us managing the severity of the radius of the barrel, and all of these radiuses are now all much more manageable because we're straightening them all up. This would be a super huge semicircle, but now it's just off straight really. We've dealt with that. We've dealt with this socket, which we've bossed up. The next complication is getting a cover flashing in here, because the old bay was cut out at this point, right on the crease. So what we've got to do is we've got to get this covered with a cover flashing like every other roofing system. We can't lift up the old one because it's impossible, basically. Even if we cut it down to 100 mil pieces of cover flashing, it's still really unlikely to lift up. So what we've got to do is the world's longest weld, and we're going to get all this up, get it trimmed to the right height, about 120 mil, and then we're going to put a band over it and weld it to the old one on the top. It's the only real way around it. We've gone round and round on this one, pun intended, but we always end up at the same place, which is we've got to weld a band on. This code 7 piece being sacrificial, which sounds quite alarming, use this, it's fully recyclable forever, so there's no harm done, and it gives us real perspective on what it's going to feel like when we try and make an over or make an under, slot them together, bend it up, bend it down. Even this socket here, which we've bossed up but needed to just do it quickly to get the actual feel of what's happening, isn't bossed, as you can tell by these splits here. It's just been whacked up. There won't be these splits because it will actually be bossed and not just whacked up. If we were to just do this with a bit of code 4, everything would feel light, everything would feel unreal. It would all connect together very well. Bossing this up would actually require proper bossing. So we're trying to speed things up but actually get real-time feel as well. Pretty cool. Really making me quite happy inside. It's giving me the little tingles. Almost like the first time you fell in love. I'm going to miss having these urns in my unit.